Hey everyone, David Ghai here with Kingdom Minded Trading, offered by David Ghai Enterprises. Just wanted to give you a quick overview on our service. This is a PhD investor education program valued at $26,000 or more. I paid $26,000 for my investor education, and we're doing this at a fraction of the cost. Our focus is real simple. A lot of these companies out there, they're going to sell you a la carte program. So if you want to learn how to trade options, as an example, you'll have to pay them, $7,000 or $8,000. Or if you want the what they call the extended learning track, you'll have to pay them $14,000. And by doing that, you'll be educated, I guess, on options. But if then you want to trade crypto, you have to pay another 70,000 or $14,000. And so they're selling things in a as a a la carte type basis. What we're doing is we're teaching you how to trade all the markets. It doesn't matter if it's crypto, stocks, options, forex, or futures. We're going to teach you technical analysis. It's a way to analyze the market using a top-down approach. And once we've done that, if the market is up, then we're looking for securities that are trending up. And so we trade the trend. And so, charts don't lie. Technical analysis works. If you're trading options or stocks, I should say, and you're trading, stocks, and we can also add fundamental analysis. But technical analysis works. Charts don't lie. It shows us exactly what the institutional or large money investors are doing. And all we need to do is find out what they're doing and follow what they're doing, and we can make money. All we have to do is be disciplined in our approach. So, the beauty about technical analysis is, again, it applies to all these different product types. It also applies to different time frames. So, if you're a day trader, I'm not. I don't like paying attention to the market second by second. Um, but if you are, you can apply it to the day time frame. Um, if you're a swing trader and you're trading 2 days up to 20 days, that's what I do, then you can analyze the market at the end of each day, look at opportunities, and place conditional orders. But if you're intermediate term, let's say 1 month up to 12 months, then you use technical analysis for that as well. And if you're a long-term investor, you can use it for that as well. So the foundation is technical analysis, which can be applied again to any time frame and any type of security. And so by using a systematic approach, the second point is you're able to get emotions out of the way. If you're day trading minute to minute, you can be successful at that, but you're a lot more subject to emotions than what you would be otherwise. And so, you lose money if you're trading on emotions. And so we take a very efficient approach. If you're looking to be a professional trader, you can start part time, and you don't have to give up a lot of time. You might spend 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and plug into the different setups we're placing, learn how to place trades, and then put them in your own account. We're not a financial consultant or an investment advisor, so we don't give investment advice, but we do teach people how to place orders on quality setups. And so you can do that in a paper trading account. If you do it in a real live trading account, just make sure you don't obviously put in any more than you can afford to lose. So we're going to teach position sizing, portfolio management, because that's a key component. If you don't manage your risk properly, you'll end up losing money. I would rather not have you as a subscriber if you're not going to follow the rules, because I want you to make money. That's the bottom line. Okay, and then just a little bit about my background. So I do have a background in finance. I worked at Smith Barney as a financial consultant, also Prudential Securities and WMA Securities. I did that from 1996 up until 2001. Quite frankly, when the market crashed, my clients lost money, and most of my the guys I work with and a few women we had in the office, our clients lost money. I mean, the market crashed. Wall Street will tell you that it's okay, don't worry about it. The market crashes, eventually it'll come back. That's true, no doubt about that. But I'll tell you what, smart money, they don't watch their money disappear. Why would you want to let your portfolio drop like it did when it hit the high in October of '07? on the S&P 500 from 1,557 down to 16,666, I should say, in October or March of 2009. Why would you want to drop from, let's say you had $1 million in the S&P index and it went down to 430,000? Why would you want to do that? Yes, it'll come back eventually if you stayed in, but do you really want to do that? I mean, honestly, wouldn't you rather just get out at 800,000 or put a hedge on your long-term assets so that if your 401k and IRA drops, you make money on those other assets so they offset? That makes more sense to me. That's a no-brainer. So that's a way, instead of getting back to break even, if you actually stuck it out, a lot of people didn't. They took their losses and, gave up. But if those people who got back to break even, you could get back to, in that scenario, let's say you got out or lost 200,000 instead of 500,000 on your portfolio, then you get back to 1.6 million when everyone else who stayed in is at break even. To me, it's a no-brainer, but that's me. So and so one point there is I had all the licenses: Series 7, Series 63, Series 65, and the Series 24 supervisory license. But the truth is, it didn't make me a good financial consultant. All I did was sell products. I had a license to sell a product. And so most financial consultants, they don't know how to trade. They don't know how to protect your assets. So if you are a financial consultant and watching this, if I was you, I would separate myself from the competition by becoming an expert on how to analyze the market from a top-down approach, apply it to individual securities, and then give my clients solutions on how they can hedge themselves before major market corrections. And so, this is a community. We are a faith-based community. My focus is on ministry and, creating wealth for the purpose of funding not only my ministry, but other ministries, ones that advocate for the trafficked, for orphans and so on. My ministry, besides, we're all called as Christians to make disciples of all nations. But beyond that, my focus is on eradicating homelessness in America, starting in Las Vegas. And so we're going to do everything we can to do that. We might not be able to get everybody off the streets, but there's a lot of people out there who, just, fell on hard times, maybe lost their jobs, maybe didn't have money saved up, and lost their housing. And, not everybody is on drugs, and even for those that are that want to get delivered, we'll help them too. But if they don't want to get delivered, probably not a lot we can do. Again, this is very time efficient. This isn't something where you have to spend 5 hours a day, while you work a full-time job and have your family. We don't want you sacrificing what's most important. So you could spend 30 minutes a day if you're able to spend 2 hours a day and watch, either attend the live training session after each market close or watch it on recording. That would be ideal. We'll have a lot of video lessons as well. We're going to teach on technical analysis, fundamental analysis, options, crypto, Forex, futures, everything you need to know: money management, position sizing, trade journals, everything you need to know to be successful, we're going to teach. Again, it's a proven system. So the core of the system is technical analysis, but then when we see a setup on a chart, that's what the stock looks like, or what the security looks like just before we get an entry signal. And so to execute on that setup, we have to have trading plans. So we have 7 different trading plans. They're proven, time tested, and they work. So the main thing is to follow your rules. So each plan has a specific criteria for what we're looking for, and for what our entry rules are, our exit rules, our profit management rules, and so on. So we're going to teach on all that. And then lastly, the bottom line is this is just a way to trade smarter. Instead of getting tips off of YouTube, instead of letting your profits disappear, making money, and then letting them, disappear on you because you don't have a strategy on how to take your profits, that's what we're going to help with. And we focus on the trend. Bottom line is, if the market's going up, we're going to find securities going with that direction. If they're trending down, we'll make more money on the downside than we do on the upside. So if securities are trading sideways, there's always some that are still going up. We can trade those if the market is up. We can also trade sideways. I mean, there's ways to make money on that too. So, the stock charts, bottom line is, or charts on any type of security, they don't lie. They tell us exactly what's going on. So all we have to do is find what the institutions are doing, the big money, ride their coattails. And then the last thing, like I said before, is we have to manage our risk. So if we have, let's say, $1 million portfolio in our 401k, IRAs, mutual funds, we might say, you know what, I'm going to take 10% of that, put it into a trading account. And then out of that 10%, let's say $100,000, I'm never going to risk any more than 10% of that at any one time. So I always have 90% or 90,000 in cash. The other 10,000 is ready to be put to use. Now, typically you would risk no more than a 0.5% to 1% per position. That means you would have 10 to 20 positions. You could up that to 2% position and have 5 positions. Or if you have a very small account, you might have to, put 5 to 10% in 1 or 2 positions until you get your account built up. So, it just depends on where you're at and the level of risk you're comfortable with. And we're also going to teach people how to place conditional orders and paper trading accounts. So you can practice that way too. A lot of people don't like that. I didn't because it's not real money and it does take work, to manage the trades. Not a lot, but you have to analyze at the end of each day and make adjustments according to your trading rules, based on what happened on that day. So in any event, that's the nutshell of what it is we're offering. We're going to have a landing page, or by the time you're seeing this, you'll see the landing page. If you don't, that's just because it's coming out tomorrow and I'm sending this out to a few people before then. But the full site is being built out, and it's going to be have tests included, member only access. And in the meantime, we're starting our live trading sessions on Monday, and it's going to be for 2 hours. And so if you have questions, feel free to text me 725-305-1622. Be happy to answer any questions, and we're getting started. So, if you want to make money, that's a way to do this. You can buy a lifetime membership instead of paying 26,000 like I did. You can buy a lifetime membership, the platinum membership, for $4,745, or you can buy that comes with 8 hours of one-on-one coaching spread out over 8 to 16 weeks, and then the gold membership is also lifetime, so you pay once and you're in. You never have to pay again. That doesn't include the 8 hours of coaching. That's under 4,000. And then we have a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 1 year. And the nice thing about those options are, number one, if you have a smaller budget getting started, you can get in on a shorter term, and then you can even split those payments up into 2 payments. So for less than $500, you can start trading, and if you don't have a lot of capital, you start with what you have, and you can even use prop trading accounts, and so there's all kinds of ways of doing things. But if you do have an interest in trading and making extra money, I love the money business just because I don't have to work as hard. I can have more time to preach the word, teach the word, and do outreach. That's really what I have a passion for. Um, you know, um, but it's not for the love of money. The love of money is a root of all evil. And so, I don't love money. I just love what it can do. It can help people, and that's really the bottom line for me. So, I don't care about having a mansion, having Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces, and all that. If I do become a billionaire, it's all going back to the kingdom to serve people. That's how we serve God. So, in any event, I'm praying for blessings over everyone who's listening to this. And if you have an interest, we start on Monday. You'll have to if you're getting this today, which is Wednesday, November 5th, you won't have the landing page. You will have it on November 6th. It'll give you instructions on how to sign up. You just fill out a brief Google form, choose your membership, and then you'll get an email instructions on how to make your payment and the exact training time starting on Monday. And again, if you can't make the live event, it'll be recorded, and you'll have specific trade setups that go with our training so you can practice those. Again, if you put them in a real account, that's okay too. But again, I'm not an investment advisor or a broker dealer, and so you may want to contact your financial advisor or CPA or both. But just make sure if you do make live trades, don't risk more than you can lose, and use the type of position sizing we're teaching. Otherwise, you're going to lose money, and you'd be better off just honestly doing something else. All right, God bless.